Welcome back. It is a sunny, for now, evening. I'm here back at the Scots like I usually am, causing a nuisance, getting in the way. First off, apologies, the vlogs haven't been coming as thick and fast as they did during the spring. We've actually been pretty busy for this time of year. Normally it's our sort of quieter time, but they've been sort of little scrappy jobs. Lots of lame bulls, lots of bulls going wrong. Bulls are a bit like combine harvesters. They only work for a few weeks of the year, or they're only meant to work for a few weeks of the year, but they inevitably go wrong at that time. Anyway, the reason I thought I would try and get a vlog today is because Ollie and the gang here are getting the whole crop in. It's whole crop, I think spring barley, but we'll check that. So I know what you're thinking, Kaz, I thought this was a vlog about cows and about sheep. Now I take your point, but when we're thinking about those, remember the guys here, they finish cattle, so they are taking growing cattle and trying to get them to the right size and shape for them to essentially end up on our dinner plates. And to do that, they need the best of food. They can't necessarily just finish them on grass that's grown in the fields. On some farms you could, but to finish a certain number, you need feed, a ration that's really energy rich. So what they do, or one of the things they do, is they grow whole crop silage. Now, as I understand it in my tiny little vet brain, is that whole crop really can be any cereal, or even things like peas. I've got a friend down in Devon who has dairy cattle. I believe they whole crop peas. We've got a client who whole crops vetch and barley, so it can be a legume as well. And you cut it before the point at which the grain is dry. You would normally put it through a combine harvester, stem and everything. You stick that in a silage pit, you ferment it, and you use it as you would grass silage, except it tends to be higher quality, which, going back to the finishing cattle, is exactly what they need. So they've got the contractors in cutting it. I'll go and have a look at the pit. I'm not sure, it doesn't sound too busy, but no doubt someone will be doing something from which I can distract them. Anyway, let's have a look. So like I said, they're whole cropping the spring barley. It'll be getting cut, put in a pit, eventually covered and fermented, and then fed to the cattle. That's the grass silage pit, which I imagine the guys will be cracking into before long. I can hear a JCB with probably Oliver at the helm. It's due to rain over the next few days, so these guys are wanting to get this cut before that happens. Yeah, here's Ollie on the JCB, and what he's doing there is he's flattening it, partly to compact it, try and squeeze out any air, but also just to fit it in the pit. But you can see as well, it's starting to go yellow, but it's not like a straw colour yet. So you can see the straw over there, that's what happens when it's cut and dried, when it's really dry and dead, whereas this is a lot greener. You can see, yeah, it's a lot fresher. So there's a few of those grains as well. And I'm told, again, this is not my area of expertise, I'm told that the grains, these barley grains, should be between milky and cheesy in their consistency, so they're not perfectly dry. I'll try and pick one up. I'll get out of the way. So that's the contractor, Gilroy's in this case, and these guys Ollie will get out of the way, he'll tip his trailer. Then Ollie will follow in, push it up and squeeze it out. And you can see the sides of the pit all the way round are covered in this plastic, and no doubt this will be a specialist plastic. We're starting to run to the ends of my arable knowledge here already, but I no doubt it will be to ensure you get good fermentation. Really, just think of this again, if grass silage is pickled grass, this whole crop barley silage is just sort of pickled, slightly immature barley. And so this just makes sure the bugs and the conditions in this pit are perfect to ensure the right type of fermentation, because you can get things like secondary fermentation happening, that's fermenting of the initial product. You can get funguses coming in, all of those things start to come back into my comfort zone there, because that's when, if you feed these things, they either lose their nutritional value for the cattle or sheep, or they can introduce other infections. If you guys have ever come across listeriosis, which is a condition of cattle and sheep, where they start to have typically face tilt, facial paralysis, so they start to drool more, they might end up walking in circles. That is a bacterial infection that tends to come with poorly fermented silage, also silage that's contaminated with soil. It's another reason to keep your moles under control, not have the mower too low. That is one thing that can be the result of a poor fermentation. Grassmen must be absolutely quaking in their boots at this vlog. Unparalleled levels of technical knowledge and production value. I'm going to be totally honest with you. Tractors, JCBs, trailers, lorries, they all make me a bit nervous. I'm not entirely sure why. I think it's just I see how much damage I could cause if put in charge of one of these. And so the pit isn't very high at the minute, if you see. It isn't very high, but it will get to points where the lads are having to go right up on top. And I'm sure it gets pretty hairy, because it looks hairy enough from down here. So yeah, I'm more than happy to watch Ollie do this job. I'm sure he's more than happy to have me not doing it. So Ollie's going to take a break from driving up, then down, then up, then down, then up, then down. He's got another few hours. I think he's got another few hours of it, because we might as well show you this as well. There's a delivery of something that's come for the cattle. It's another feed stuff. But I thought, you know, I didn't know that cattle get fed a lot of waste bread and biscuits, and that's exactly what's arrived. So we shall go and have a look. So yeah, this is the bread waste, and you can see, hopefully, there's all sorts of things in it. Sort of lots of crusts, a lot of just doughy stuff that's sort of mushed in. It's very warm, actually. And there'll be a bit of pasta in it, and all sorts. There must be some hot cross buns in it somewhere, because I can just smell like currants. But anyway, what this is food that otherwise would have just been chucked into landfill. Instead, it's a really good sort of starchy base for a cattle feed. Don't get me wrong, you wouldn't feed cattle on just this. It wouldn't be balanced enough for them. But what the guys will do here is they will incorporate it into the feeding ration. So again, turning something that's a waste product into delicious beef. So it might not always be bread. Sometimes I'll make use of excess potatoes or use them as feed potatoes. At some point, what we'll do, if I can get up early enough, is actually come and see the guys in the morning when they've put all of these different things, grass, clover, potatoes, bread, whole crop, into the mixer wagon, and actually see how they sort of cook up the cocktail of the finishing ration. That I think would be really interesting, and we will get there. But what I'm trying to get at, I suppose, when you see discussions around grass-fed cattle, beef production in general, sometimes it's not as straightforward as grass-fed versus grain-fed versus cattle versus soya. You know, that bread waste would technically be cereals, but it's certainly not cereals that's now fit for human consumption. In fact, they were, and they've been wasted. So that's another really interesting conversation to have about food waste and what have you. So just in case you guys are wondering, I'm meant to be following a farm vet vlog, and I've not seen a single animal on this vlog so far. That's why I sort of find these issues interesting, and I hope I can interest you in the meantime and try not to get run over by a JCB. I'm okay. That's why I'm showing you whole crop silage being made. That's why I'm showing you bread waste, because not only is it really important for the livestock in terms of us getting their nutrition right in a way that's also cost effective, but also because now talking about farming systems, how food, including animal products, is grown, and how we can tailor that to meet our needs, to meet society's needs, to meet the environment's needs, all together on package. That is stuff that gets me quite interested and excited, but it is a very sticky topic. It's much more complex than I think a lot of us let on. Anyway, that's enough serious documentary making for now. Watch out, David Attenborough. But here are some cattle, just to keep you guys happy. Anyway, I hope you found that interesting. There is more good stuff coming. Plenty of cows, plenty of sheep, and the rest. So, I shall see you next time. Over and out.